Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome back to another Minecraft episode on the Alphacraft server. Right, we're back in the potion room again because I need to correct something I did the other day, which was a bit of a schoolboy error, and I couldn't believe I did it. But before I do any of that, I want to welcome Bumbles5661 as my latest patron. So welcome along, Bumbles. It's brilliant to have you along. Look forward to seeing you on the patrons server. Right, so the problem I had was that I had lamps, redstone lamps here, indicating when I'd run out of water at the back, which at the time seemed like a really good idea, and I've had a few comments about it, so thank you for that. However, I came to use, which one was it? It was probably night vision. Night. It wasn't that at all. It was a fire resistance because I was off in the nether, and I pressed a button and the redstone didn't dispense. It dispensed the water, it dispensed the magma cream, didn't dispense the redstone. And I thought, oh. So I went round the back and had a look, all the wiring was okay, pressed it again, it dispensed the water, it dispensed the magma, didn't dispense the redstone. And for far too long, for longer than it should have took, I couldn't understand what was causing the problem. And then I realised that when the water bottles are full at the back, the redstone lamp here lit up, and in order for that, I keep looking round, I don't know why, there's nothing in here, Frills, there's nothing in here. The redstone lamp was lit up, and to do that I was using a comparator there to power that block which powered the redstone lamp, but also powering that redstone block powered that dropper, and a dropper that is powered can't be powered again, can it? Because it's already powered. So it was stopping the redstone from being dispensed. So absolute schoolboy error, something I should have spotted when I was building this, but didn't. So I've had to replace all of those redstone lamps with chiseled stone, and now I'm just going to have to run out of bottles. I'll know I've run out of bottles because there won't be any there, so it's not really going to be a biggie. So that's that sorted out. What I've got to do first of all, then, we're going to head over to spawn today, and this is going to take us quite a long time, I think, because I'm going to start putting in the railway track system. Now I've had loads of ideas about how to do it. Look at that darker clock. I've had loads of ideas how to do it, and I'm still not 100% convinced. But anyway, what I'm going to need are lots of hoppers. Now I've got loads of is somebody there? Yep. Got loads of iron at the iron alpha at spawn. I need some wood. Okay, don't have as much wood left as I would have liked. So what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of this. It's been a long time since we've been to Boo's automatic logging company. So let's get in here and turn this into bone meal. Put that in there. Grab that. I'm going to have to turn the volume down because Boo is so loud. Hey, Boo. Oh. She's brilliant, though. So I'm going to stand here AFK for a little while, being shot at by Boo, and then I'll head over to spawn, and we'll start worrying about where to put all the rails and the like. So I was going to put a selector panel along that back wall along here that had redstone lamps in it. You came in, you pressed the button where you wanted to go, and then the indicator lit up, you jumped in a minecart and off you went. But it turns out, and I'm glad Jaques pointed this out to me before I started building it, that the platform is running, it's going to run down here. So we've got rails running down this side, we've got rails running down this side, the arrivals and the departures, and this is the waiting area on the platform. Of course it is, now he's mentioned it, makes perfect sense. But at the time I'd I thought they were public toilets, Jack. Sorry, mate. I've got no idea. So I can't do what I wanted to do over there. So I think what I'm going to do is try and incorporate a system where you have to come over to the ticketing office and then select your location. I'm probably going to have to fill a few of these in, JJ. Sorry about that, my old China plate, but needs must. And we'll have some kind of panel here. So you'll come along here, you'll press a button, and you'll get dispensed a ticket. So if you want to go to Avo's base, you'll press a button for Avo's base, you'll get a ticket. You'll then take it up to the inspector, the conductor, whatever you want to call him, who's probably going to be stood here. It's going to be an armour stand. It's probably going to be stood here. And you'll throw your ticket at him. And then you'll wander over here, jump in your minecart, and off you'll go. And the ticket will activate a system underneath that is so complicated. It would be the Professor of Complicatedness at the Complicated University, Complicated'sville. And then you can go off on your merry way. But if you try and kid the system and throw in a bit of dirt, then you'll get in the minecart and it'll whiz you off this way and drop you into a load of lava, which I wanted to do, but I don't think I'll get away with it. So you'll probably go over there and then come back up around the other side and it won't take you anywhere. So there's lots to do, and all of this stuff, all of the gubbins, the jiggery pokery magic stuff is going to happen underneath here. So I think my first job is to dig out most of this soz JJ. So I'm going to dig out a big hole. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've done a lot of digging out, and hopefully nobody's going to fall straight through the middle down here. With a bit of luck, they'll land on a dirt block. If they do, it's time to start putting in some of the redstone, and this is not going to be as complicated as I thought it was going to be. Now, initially, if we were using a selector panel with buttons and indicator lights and everything else, I would have needed some kind of T flip-flop and monostable circuit and pistons and all kinds of good stuff, and I was really looking forward to doing that, but JJ's put the kibosh on that by suggesting we use tickets, and using a ticket is going to be a lot easier, really. It's not going to be, it wouldn't even make it to be a primary school teacher at one of the schools of complicatedness. But anyway, but before we do any of that, I'm smiling at myself now. Before we do any of that, I need to decide, or I need to determine which side is going to be the departure and which side is going to be the arrivals. And that's needs to happen now, because if it happens later, I could quite easily build this thing the wrong way round. So I just want to throw down a few rails. This is probably not where they're going to live in the end, but I just need to put a few down. And these rails are going to be pushed on top of each other. I'm going to use a series of pistons, and they're going to push the rails this away. So that rail will become that rail, and that rail will go to there. And because of that, it's going to cause a kink in the rail. But it will only ever kink one way. And I need to determine whether it kinks this way, whether it goes around that way, or whether it goes around that way. And it's easy to do. Just have to fire a piston next to it. So now we know that the departure has got to be on this side. So the minecart is going to come down here, it's going to come down this track, and it's going to go off that way. If we'd have put the departures on this side, you'd have come down this rail and gone straight over. Nothing would have happened. You'd have been wasting your time. So we now know departures of this side, the arrivals are going to be on that side. Perfect. So now what I need to do then is I need to set up a bog standard item sorter that is going to sort the tickets. Look at that. You wouldn't believe that, would you? 50-50 chance. Got it wrong. There you go. So let me do that. Yeah, so you'll throw your ticket in there. It'll come, I'm thinking out loud, it's going to go into a series of hoppers probably, which is going to take it over here. And then it's going to go into the chain of hoppers along the top that is going to sort it to determine which station you need to go to. So let me throw down loads of hoppers and a basic sorting system, and we'll have a look how I've got on. So we've got the hoppers in now for the basic sorting system. You throw your ticket in, it comes down here, it comes through this hopper, and this is going to be the reset line. Because what I don't want is if you throw your ticket in, and just as you've thrown your ticket in, you get attacked by a phantom or a mob or a creeper or something and you die, then the line's already been selected for you to go where you want to go. Then if somebody else comes along, not knowing that you've bitten the bullet, they'll throw their ticket in, which might be for a different address, and that'll also activate the line. And if both two lines activate at the same time, that's going to cause a problem. So what I need to happen is the ticket comes down here and resets all of the tracks before it then selects a new destination, and that way hopefully it'll sort itself out and it won't cause a problem. So if we make one of these on camera, it's a very basic sorting system. You've probably made one of these yourself a million times before, but we'll just run over and do one now. So you've got your torches there locking that bottom hopper, so nothing now can flow out of that hopper into that one because it's locked. Whoop, come on, jump. So we need to stick a couple of bits of redstone there. Done that wrong straight away, haven't I? Well done, Frills. Genius. In fairness, I could have made it longer, but that I don't really need it any longer because of what's going through the system. It's not as if we've got a large amount of items coming through, so one there will be more than enough. And then we need a repeater there like that, and then we throw into this hopper. I'm going to rename these, but just for demonstration purposes, we'll stick in my stake. So we stick in 18 bits of steak or whatever, as long as they stack in 64s. They've got to be able to stack in 64s, otherwise this won't work. So 18 there, and then fill the rest up. And then you put in the first slot what you want to be sucked through, what you want to be sorted, basically. So if a poppy comes through the system now, it'll get to here, and it'll get sucked through into there because there's a poppy there. If I put a bit of stone in there, it'll go through and it'll go on to the next one because there's steak and poppies in there, and that's how the sorting system works, which is ideal. And then we want that to go into a repeater, so when that bit of dust extends down to the bottom, because 18, 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 items in a hopper creates a signal strength of 1. 23 items in a hopper, then it gives off a signal strength of 2, which will obviously turn on both these repeaters, and with that turned on, it'll turn off that torch, and that's what allows the items to go through. But as I say, as a side effect, it'll also turn on this repeater here. And this is going to be the repeater that pushes the standard piston. We'll get a standard piston in like that. And that's going to push the lines, the tracks. So I'm going to need a couple of tracks down here. Now, these have got to be normal rails. These can't be powered rails because powered rails don't go around corners. So these have got to be standard rails for here. And then we need to put those like so. I'm using a lot more than I need at the moment. Actually, I'm probably going to cut those down quite a bit. I think I've only got 13 stations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 stations. Now, there are 8 alphas, and then we probably want to go, I don't know, there'll be a mob farm somewhere, an XP farm somewhere that we want to go to. So I've added a couple on there. But the beauty of this system is we can just extend it. We can just keep adding to it if we need to. If we get as and when we get more alphas on the system. So if we throw a poppy in the system now, pretending it's a ticket, there you go. It forces that line out. So now you'll jump in your minecart over there. You'll fall down onto here. Come down here, boop, 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 and off you'll go to the poppy station. Perfect. Now, as I said, I want this to be resettable. You're going to fall down here as well. And this is where another reset is going to be, to reset the lines once you've gone. Like a double reset, really. Never have too many fail safes. And then we'll want some kind of double piston extender going on here, so probably want it there so you can fall down the hole, and then behind it we're going to need some sticky pistons, which for some reason I don't have on me. So we've got that, we've got that, we've got that. We're going to need blocks behind the back of this anyway, which is handy because that means I can put my sticky pistons against that. Now, to make this double piston extender, I'm going to try using observers. Well, I'm not going to try, I'm going to use observers because they're my favourite block ever. So we need to put these facing this way. Like that. And to activate those, I'm going to need to stick a bit of redstone along the back here. Like that. But I'm going to have to extend it slightly. Because if I don't increase the pulse length, then that's going to happen. For some reason, even though there's power going through the block, if it's one tick, it doesn't power the back sticky piston. So I need to stick in a pulse extender. We'll stick that just there. So if we have one of them on... If we have one of them on 1, one of them on 3, that extends this pulse. And then we'll hook up these lines down to there. So now, if I throw in a poppy or a ticket, well, it's obviously a poppy, but it would be a ticket. If I throw a poppy in here, quickly turn around, it resets and then pushes out the poppy station, which is perfect. I'm going to do it once more, prove it's not a fluke. Resets, poppy station. That is fantastic. So I need to stick the rest of this stuff down here. And then we'll... then we need to dig out underneath here and put in the second reset system. So let me just stick down the rest of this item sorter, ticket sorter, and then we'll crack on over there. Okay, so I've got all of the system in. I've also been and fetched myself an anvil because I want to rename all of the blocks. I don't want people throwing in something that could possibly be in the system, the filler system, otherwise it'll break it. And the easiest way to do that is to rename something, which I've got a lot of. So I've got plenty of stone brick, so we'll rename the stone brick, we'll just call it filler. Do that with a couple of them because I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. Should have counted, should have, but didn't I? What I'm also going to do while I'm doing this, let me split up this paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's handy because there are 8 alphas. So if we rename these this paper tickets, I suppose we'll have to call it Avo Station. So they're Avo Station tickets, and these are going to be Smurf Station. I'll just do this for all of them. So now I've got all of those sorted out. We just need to put these in these sorting systems. So if I whip out what's already in there, get my stake back, get rid of my poppies, and then stick in my my 22 filler blocks. And then we'll have Jackson Wild's got to be the first one. So we'll put the JJ and Wild's ticket in there, and I'll do the because I think I mentioned this before. JJ and Wild have already built their train line, which comes in over there. So I can't be dropping them down to bedrock, which is what I'm going to be doing to everybody else, because we want the station to run at bedrock, and that way nobody's going to dig through it accidentally, or you're not going to run into a mine or a ravine or water or something like that. So this drop at the back of this is going to drop down quite severely. But let me throw the rest of these tickets in with the sorters, with the sorting blocks, the filler blocks, and we'll be back over there in a second. Brilliant. So they're all filled up. I've actually put filler blocks in the last 3 item sorters as well, so nothing will go in there until we decide to change that for a different filler block, a different ticket. So I've got to try it again. I've got to test it. Oh, test. Let me throw away a block. So if we want to go to JJ's, we've already done. If we want to go to Biz's station, we've got Biz's ticket. We'll throw it in to the conductor at the top. It resets and it pushes out Biz's station. Brilliant. And then somebody wants to go to Kenny, all the way down the end. Goes a ticket at the conductor, resets. Kenny's station pops out. Just going to make sure that is Kenny's station. Pretty sure it is. No reason why it won't be. Kenny's station. Perfect. And the tickets, eventually, they'll get stuck in the bottom first off. But eventually they will go, pick that up, see if I can get around the other side to show you. Eventually they will go back to the ticket office via this line of hoppers here. This is going to run all the way back to the ticketing office, so that works perfectly well. That's brilliant. So now I'll dig out underneath here, and then we'll put in this second reset, and then all of the powered rails that are going to take you off on your merry way. Okay, so I've dug out the hole underneath. We want to stick in some powered rails now. Now I think I'm going to be out of luck when we're putting these down, because I think they're going to snap the wrong way. Thought they would, but there's an easy fix to that. But before we do that, I need to stick some power underneath these first blocks. These first blocks are going to have to be powered. And we can cover those over. And we want to stick powered rails there, there and there. And then this one, is that the one? Doesn't really matter which one if I'm being honest, but one of them. This needs to be a detector rail. So underneath here, I'm going to have to stick a line of dust. Yeah, I'll worry about that in a second. I know I can't cut the line there. I can't even put a slab there, because if I put a slab there, it won't affect that dust. So that's just going to have to come out a little bit further. And then I can put my detector rail over there. So when a minecart goes over that, it's going to put a signal through that dust and then down this line here, which is going to reset all of the lines. So then I want to stick in a couple of... do I want to power these? I probably do, don't I? Just to be on the safe side. And then like that. And the hole down to level 0 or 4 or whatever it is going to be here. But for the time being, we need to put a rail there. Otherwise, if we don't, that's going to happen. When we put the next line of rails in, it's going to be an absolute pain. So we'll have it one longer than we need it to be. And then we can start the second row. But because we've already got a track there, they won't stack together. And now we can break that one and replace it with a solid block. Put that just there. Work our way down to the end. I can then break this block and put it just there, like that. And then we start again. There and there. Break that block, put it back in. Like that. But you've got to be very careful, because if I mess this up, if I forget to do this in this order and mess it up, I'm going to have to start again. So you have got to be quite careful doing this. But it's not difficult. Okay, just before I fill it all in, the reset line then comes down here. It'll power the repeater there, which will turn off that torch, which will turn on that torch, which will activate that line up there that we've already had a look at, because it's the reset line here. So I can fill this all in now. Perfect. Right. Well, I was hoping to get all this finished today, everybody, but we've run out of time again. I can't believe it. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? So what have we got left to do? We've done loads today. We've actually done quite a lot today. What we need to do in the next episode then is to add in the rails along the top, up the top, the departure section. They're probably going to fall down there. I'm a big fan of falling down in minecart, so they'll fall down there. They'll come across on some tracks over here. Have I got no more of those left? Very strange. Probably come along over there somewhere. I don't know where, but they will. Over here somewhere. We are going to have to raise this up. This line here, because if you forget to put a ticket in and you jump in a minecart, you're going to drop down onto the track. You're going to come down here, but no station will be selected. So you're going to come straight along here, and then you're going to go up and then into the arrivals section. So you'll just do a big loop of the station. So these lines need to be taken up there somehow. I might even do that using a water bubble column elevator kind of thing, you know, with soul sand, because that's pretty cool. So I've got to do that. We've got to then put all of the rails in 4,000 blocks at the center of the earth, but that can be done at a later stage. And obviously the alphas then can dig their own tunnels to wherever they want it to go. Bearing in mind, alpha dudes, you have to dig a tunnel that's too wide. You'll need a line that goes to your base and a line that comes back. You can't use the same one, otherwise you're going to have a head-on collision. There's going to be carnage. Nobody likes that. What else do we need to do then? Done that. We'll do that. We'll sort that little bit out. I think we're about there. I'm dead excited. It's looking fantastic, even though nobody's ever going to see it once we fill this in. It's going to be like an Egyptian tomb. It'll be found in 1,000,000 years, and people will look back at this and say, wow, couldn't they do redstone back in the day? So I'm afraid we're going to have to call it a day then today, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe for future videos. This is Frilioth, while Busy's asleep, and I'm out of here.